guys, I'm back. My name's Toyin and welcome back to ToyinTube. Today's topic is about adoption. So my question is, why do childless couples or childless marriages not even consider adoption? Now, before I proceed, can we just remember to subscribe to my channel? At the bottom of the video is the subscribe link. Please click on the link to subscribe to my channel and click on your notification bell so that you will get notifications of my new uploads. All right then. So back to the question. Why do childless couples or marriages not consider adoption? Now, first of all, let me be clear on this. There are some couples who genuinely have no interest in having kids whatsoever. They don't like children. They think children are too much work. They just want to enjoy themselves. They want to enjoy their marriages. They want to focus on each other. They think children will burden them somehow and they just want nothing to do with children. So this video is not for people like that, all right? They made their choices. Let's just respect their decision. This video is for couples that genuinely want to have children, but because of some biological or physiological complications, they're unable to do so naturally. So again, the question is, why do these couples not consider adoption, especially when it becomes apparent that they will never be able to have their own biological child? I'd like to take into consideration that there are other ways to conceive or have children, like we have IVF, for instance, but we all know that IVF can be quite expensive. Even if you can afford it, there's still no guarantee that it will work for you. A lot of people have tried it and it didn't work for them. It didn't work. So it's just money gone down the drain, and not a lot of people can afford it. We also have surrogacy, which means that someone else has to carry a child for you, whether it's going to be the man's sperm and the woman's sperm put into a third party, or the man's sperm and a third party's egg, or however they want to do the combination of the sperm and the egg. Point is, somebody else will carry that child rather than the woman in the marriage, okay, or in the relationship. Some people may feel like, I don't want someone else to carry my child for me. I want to be able to carry that child myself, bond with that child because it's mine anyway at the end of the day. Or maybe they feel like, even if I do my research about the lifestyle of this surrogate mother, I don't know what she does with her body when I'm not there. So I don't trust that my child will be safe inside anybody but myself, okay? And there's a lot of other risks as well associated with that. The surrogate mother could turn around and say, I'm taking the baby. I'm not letting you guys have it. I carried this child for 9 months. Now it is mine. I am not giving it over. So there was a case like that in 1990. So I believe they used the surrogate mother's egg plus the man's sperm. And towards the end of the pregnancy, the lady started to say that she didn't trust the family enough to take care of the baby, blah, blah, blah. So she sued them and said, well, she doesn't trust them, so she wants to keep the baby. In that case, at the end of the day, to be fair, it is her baby. But point is, she was paid for this. She took £10,000 or $10,000 to do this job for them. And it's a risk. Yes, this one might be her baby, but it could happen to anyone. Somebody else can come tomorrow and say, well, I know I have no contribution in the egg or the sperm, whatever, but because of the bond that I have with this child, I don't want you to have the baby. So it's a risk. So if we rule out surrogacy, if we rule out IVF and whatever other procedures are out there, maybe adoption might just be a good suggestion that people should look into, really. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with adoption. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But then these are a few things that I want to say about it. A lot of times we have women who are so depressed that they spend their days and nights praying and crying and wailing, and they become so inconsolable by members of their family because they're unable to have children of their own biologically, because they're unable to get pregnant, or because their husband is unable to have children. I could never, ever, ever fault them. I cannot fault them at all. With the issue of getting pregnant, every mother, every woman who desires to have a child wants to go through the process of getting pregnant, even the process of labor. And guys, let me tell you what, labor is not even funny at all. Like, labor can be likened to when when I was growing up, we have to wash our clothes with our hands. And after you've done washing and scrubbing, whatever you do, you squeeze it. So labor starts by your washing, just washing and going back and forth in that motion. And then when it starts to get tough, it's like when you're beginning to squeeze the cloth, you're squeezing it just to get all the water out of it. And then after squeezing and squeezing and squeezing, you go and dry it, yeah? But with labor, you squeeze it and you now leave it there like that. That's how bad labor can be. It is painful. But as painful as it is, every woman who desires to have a child could not care about it. You know, they're just looking at the light at the end of the tunnel, the bundle of joy waiting for them at the end of the whole experience. You know, it makes the whole experience of getting pregnant and labor and everything, it makes it worth it when you see that bundle of joy that just, you know, that mini you that just looks so cute, the cute face. Every woman wants to experience that. But at the end of the day, reality means that not everyone will experience it. Can I also point out that one of the risks of adoption is that sometimes maybe people have adopted children who didn't turn out the way they expected them to turn out. You adopt a child, you nurture this child, you raise this child, you make sure that all their needs are met. And at some point, the child becomes the bane of your existence. They become very disruptive to your life, and you and your husband or you and your wife suddenly don't enjoy the relationship anymore because all your focus now is on trying to get that child to behave rather than you just focusing on your relationship. Yes, there are some experiences like that, but it still doesn't, it's not the general experience. It's not something that we should jump to conclusion about or we should generalize. We cannot generalize like that. But at the end of the day, if you're a person who is out there and you're considering adoption, and then maybe you end up adopting at the age of 60 or 65, I'm thinking, what's the point really? What exactly is the point? If you adopt at the age of, say, 65, by the time you're 80, the child is only 15. I don't think it's fair on the child, to be honest. I don't think it's fair at all. This child hasn't even got the best out of you at all. I feel like if you want to adopt, do it earlier on in life so that the child at least has a chance of growing with you and you have a chance of growing with the child as well. Like I said before, adoption is not for everyone. Some people don't like adoption for whatever reason that they've chosen, all right, which is fair. But again, if anyone decides to adopt, let's remember that you're adopting a human being. You're not adopting a cockroach or a dog. And even people who adopt dogs and cats and all these other birds, whatever, they treat them really good. They do, well, at least most of them do. They go through processes and paperwork and different things to adopt these animals. How much more a human being's life? That child could turn out to be someone who will bring change to the world. A human being that has the whole life ahead of them. They have prospects, you know, they have a future. They will become something in future, hopefully. And if you're going to bring them into your life, it's for you to help nurture them, to raise them, to help them to achieve potentials that are in them. All right? It's not for you to adopt them and maltreat them and do whatever you like with them. No. If you're going to do all of that, stay away from adoption. So for me, the following people should not even bother adopting. Just stay away from adoption agencies, okay? People shouldn't adopt for the wrong reasons. So number one, if you know that you and your husband or you and your wife are having an acrimonious relationship, things are not going right for you guys, things are not going well between the two of you, don't think that when you adopt, oh, it's going to make us closer, it's going to make us love each other better. No. Stay away from that child. Don't do it. If you know that you're being pressured by family and friends to adopt, don't do it. If you know that you want to adopt that child because Hollywood celebrities are doing it, it's trendy, don't do it. If you know that you're adopting that child because you want to gain access to social welfare benefits, tax credits, whatever it is, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about that. If you're afraid that one day your child or your children are going to grow up and they're going to leave home, so you're afraid of empty nest, so that's why you want to adopt, so that you have a child with you in your old age or whatever it is. At the end of the day, that child will grow old and leave as well. So are you going to keep, I don't know, are you going to keep adopting new children just to plug that your lonely empty nest? No, don't do it. Don't even go near any child for that reason. Don't adopt a child only for 6 months down the line you guys separate. So a child that you've adopted who is probably an orphan or motherless or fatherless child, you adopt this child and then you guys separate 6 months down the line. That's like double tragedy for that child. No, guys, don't do it. If you know your relationship is unstable, just don't do it. So look at it this way, yeah? If I'm going to buy a car, for instance, I'm not going to jump into that decision, at least depending on the kind of car I want to buy, of course. I'm still going to do my research. You know, it will take me about maybe 6 months to make my decision because I'm still looking at the market, checking around, looking around to get the right car for my needs. So it will take a lot of careful consideration. How much more when I want to adopt a human being? It's someone's life. Let's not mess it up. It's a decision that we need to take really seriously. If you're going to do it, you need to take it seriously. And once you bring in that child, if you know that you're incapable of looking after that child, don't do it. Don't do it. All right. I've come across people who have said, I could never look after another person's child. Even though I feel like that statement is a very shallow and a very selfish one. At the end of the day, I think it's best that at least they know where they stand. And people like that would never go near adoption and make another person's child's life a misery. So all things being equal, including no crazy adoption agencies with crazy fees and crazy requirements that make the process so long-winded and so hard on the couple. You know, all things being equal, there's really nothing wrong with adoption at all. Again, let's remember it's not for everyone. And if you're considering adopting from any country, just make sure you're following the regulations that are guiding the adoption process in that country. Do not do things like rogues, okay? You will get in trouble, all right? My final words here are that for me, I don't think there's really any point for women to drive themselves over the edge because of lack of their own biological child. God knows what we don't know, all right? God sees what we don't see. When we pray for things, there's 4 answers. It's either going to be a yes, a no, a not yet, or a never. If yours is a never, we don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. Even if God is going to eventually bless you with your own seed, with your own child, there's really nothing wrong with you adopting. Along the line, God may still bless you with your own, and you will love all the children equally. I'm just saying these things because people are going through unnecessary pain. Yes, if people prefer to wait for as long as they want to wait, it's up to them. But I've seen people adopting at the age of 65 and 70. I don't get it. You could have done that ages ago. You know, you could have done that earlier on in your life. So anyways, guys, thanks again for watching my video today. I upload new videos every Wednesday, so watch out for that. In the meantime, like the video, share the video, and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to click on the bell icon so that you get my notifications. Have a lovely week. See you later, guys. Bye.